And on topical stories this morning, First Lady Aisha Muhammadu Buhari has appealed to presidential aspirants to adopt women as their running mates in the 2023 presidential election. The First Lady made the appeal when she hosted presidential hopefuls from various political parties to iftar dinner at the presidential villa. According to her, considering the voting strength and involvement of women in politics, they should be adopted as running mates in the forthcoming elections. In furtherance of Operation Dakatar da Barao, OPDDB, that was launched to checkmate crude oil theft and related acts of economic sabotage, the Nigerian Navy said it has seized 6 million liters of stolen crude oil, estimated at 264 billion naira. This is just as President Muhammadu Buhari has expressed shock and trauma about the death of 100 people in an explosion at an illegal oil refinery in Imo State. However, there were no reports of seized barges of motherships by the Navy. Unfortunately, that is where most of the theft occurs, because these are the means by which stolen crude oil are being transported to international markets and sold at far below market price. And the rompers over the Northern Consensus candidate among presidential aspirants of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, has thrown the Northern Elders Forum, NEF, into disarray. Spokesman of the Elders Forum, Dr. Hakeem Baba Ahmed, yesterday disowned their leader, Professor Ango Abdullahi, saying he was acting on his own when he endorsed former Senate President Bukola Saraki and Bauchi State Governor Bala Mohammed as consensus presidential candidates of the North for the PDP. Specifically, the statement signed by the NEF's Director of Publicity and Advocacy noted that the entire process of to produce the consensus candidates did not involve the forum. According to him, Professor Ango Abdullahi concluded the assignment on Northern Consensus candidates, released a detailed report and recommendation which he signed in his individual capacity. And Social Economic Rights and Accountability Project, SIRAP, has sued President Muhammadu Buhari and 2 others at the Federal High Court, Lagos, over failure to unblock phone lines of over 72 million telecommunications subscribers barred from making calls on an account of National Identification Number and Subscriber Identity Module, NIN and SIM linkage. Joined in the suit as respondents are Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice Abubakar Malami SAN and the Minister of Communications and Digital Economy Isa Ali Fantami. And that's it on topical stories. We'll get to the big talk segment in a bit. Keep it with us on your radio experience you can count on. This is Eagles Outlook on Eagles 102.3.
Think about the generations and to say we want to make it a better place for our children.
Day. Look no further.
Call me up, talk to me about your day. I'm right here. And
our new baby girl, my day was not that very okay because of.
Join Kemi Michael on A Cobble for Your Thoughts every weekday from 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. on Eagles 102.3 FM.
I can tell he's been lying and pretending that he's faithful and he loves you. out with friends is such a hobby, but chilling with your girlfriends? Such a bolster. We talk about love, family, relationship, the shady, hilarious, fun, juicy, messy gossip in town. And the gentlemen aren't off the table. Girlfriends with Oli J, Mondays and Fridays at 1 p.m. Exclusive to Eagles 102.3 FM, Abuja.
Playing the best music from yesterday, today, and tomorrow. This is 102.3 Abuja. Eagles 102.3.
You gotta come see this!
This doesn't make any sense.
Tune in to Hall of Fame, where we strut the red carpets of the silver screen.
Learning of an infinite multiverse includes learning of infinite danger.
I am Sub-Zero. I like this one.
I know what this place is.
It's all about movies and what to watch out for every Thursday at 4 p.m. on Eagles 102.3 FM, Abuja.
Get over here!
Well, everyone focuses on staying socially distant, washing your hands, and staying safe.
Social distancing.
A reminder
That the hits are there to socially dance to.
staying safe, washing our hands,
And keeping you company.
one song at a time.
The hits are on.
On 102.3 Eagles FM.
Sweet.
102.3.
Let's spice up your day. Tune into a breath of fresh air. It's all fun and games until it gets extra and better. 102.3 Extra, weekdays 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. with Oli J. Cheers to something new.
Eagles Morning Rise. Eagles Morning Rise with
Thank you for keeping your dials locked on your radio experience. You can count on your Untitled Eagles outlook. And today we're talking World Malaria Day, as it is a day set aside by the world to, create awareness on the mosquito-borne disease, which has ravaged, this part of our world. The theme for this year's World Malaria Day is harness innovation to reduce the malaria disease burden and save lives. According to experts, about 200,000 Nigerians have died in the last year on account of malaria, with 61 million others, infected or affected by malaria in 2021. That's a large number. That is really alarming. Okay. In a nation of 200 million people, 61 million people affected by malaria in just 1 year is alarming. And we have to discuss with us this morning Hauwa Suleiman, a public health educator, is joining us this morning. Again, good morning, Hajia Suleiman.
Good morning.
Now, let's talk about this. First of all, I'd like to start off with a funny story, because I just moved to a new apartment and I discovered that mosquitoes were biting me, like, seriously. So yesterday was the first time I had, time to move around. Yeah. And I went behind the house and I discovered there's this whatever, what do we call it now? Gutter, or, that's stuck. And it seemed like a pond where it was breeding mosquitoes and all. So I realized, this is the reason mosquitoes have been biting me. I even had to buy 2 nets. Yeah. So, I've ordered that they clean up that they, and have the water flow so that at least the mosquitoes would reduce. And that's one problem that a lot of Nigerians are facing. Yeah. Drainages, blocked up drainages, ponds in front of the houses and all that stuff. Mosquitoes, breeding grounds for mosquitoes. How do we begin to address this as, collectively?
Yeah, thank you once again, and good morning again. Actually, environmental sanitation is the key. That's why we are creating awareness and telling people that they should take care of their environment, their abode, not only outside, even inside. Or is their abode. That's where they, like you say, that's where they breathe, where there is damp, and where it's dark. So even within the house, we should make sure that we clean it very well. Our surroundings, where there are gutters, where we send our waters out, that is where we are doing our cleanings. There must be a way, probably, there must be an opening where the water will go. It will not remain there stagnant. As long as the water is there, that is where they will breathe. They will lay their eggs there, and then you have pools of, in fact, the whole community of the mosquitoes will be there. So environmental sanitation is the key. People should take care of their environment very well. They should sweep it very well. They should anything where there is damp, there is water, they should make sure they clean it. I always advise, and if you have, like you said, if you have in an area where the gutters is around your house and it is there is no way, it's passing almost every day. Now, you should make sure that when you clean the gutter, you should make the environment inconducive for them. Like when you get what I do in my own area, that is in my own house, I get when I change my engine oil to my car, the dirty one, that's the dark one, I now take that one. So once in a while, like once in a month, I make sure I drop it around there.
Okay, that helps.
That environment will not be conducive for them anymore.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. That's interesting. I just learned one.
After
Maybe that's what I'm going to do.
I just drop that in there. Sometimes we use the kerosene.
Okay.
Sometimes, but not inside the house.
Yeah.
And just inside the gutters, where definitely, maybe almost every day, there are wastes that are passing around there. Yes. So when you do that, and then for those that we buy insecticide. If you really want to use the insecticide, the best time to use them is not when you want to sleep. That you put it just around that kind 6 in the evening, because that's when they hatch. So you just put it and just lock everywhere and go. And the best, most important to prevent mosquito coming in to bite you is to sleep under the mosquito net.
But then fumigation is also very important. If you can, as much as you can, fumigate your environment and ensure that it's quite clean. So that these mosquitoes wouldn't breed and continue to attack you. Now, we're talking about fumigation and all of this. I like the fact that you brought up some very, easy methods and then not so expensive. Talking about the engine oil and, kerosene. It's not so expensive. When we talk about fumigation, people look at it and say, oh, this is for people who have money. But the ordinary Nigerian can afford to get, maybe 1 liter of kerosene to, sanitize their environment. And I hope that works. Now, talking about mosquito-treated nets, people have reservations as to, I can't sleep under the net. It makes me uncomfortable. The chemicals on this net, it says treated. It's chemicals. I don't want to suffocate at night and all that stuff. How can you help people understand that they shouldn't be afraid? What truth is there as to, some of these concerns that people have?
Yeah, actually, it's how do you use it? It's treated quite well. It has chemicals and it's harsh. So what you do is when you get the treated mosquito nets, what you first of all is you put it out under the shade for 24 hours.
Okay.
It kind of reduces that harshness because you are just opening it up from the new that cellophane that is around it. So after that, you are free to use it. And that does when they just take it immediately and just tie it by their sleeping beds or wherever it is they are sleeping, that's when they feel suffocated with it. And then when you are under the mosquito net, it's good to open your windows to get air. Cross ventilation is necessary. So by the time somebody is under, especially now that the weather is hot, you are under the mosquito net and all your windows are locked because you feel maybe you are afraid somebody might come in, because of insecurity, or you still feel when you leave the windows open, mosquitoes will come in, then you will feel suffocated. But when there is air coming in and going out at the same time, it's comfortable.
Now, what's the best way to use the nets? I've seen people who say, we'll tie the nets on our doors and tie the nets on our windows, to prevent mosquitoes from entering. Is that the best way to use the mosquito-treated nets?
The best way to use it is to tie it by your bed. And when you are under it, then it's good to put it by the windows and but the best way, if you really want to keep it completely out, even after putting it, because even if you put it by the windows and by the doors, once in a while you open the doors in and out. They are very smart. In fact, we believe they are even evolving, because sometimes, no matter how, even on the mosquito, I don't know if somebody has ever noticed, but I have noticed it. I'm under the mosquito net, but a mosquito was going around on the nets trying to get a small opening to just enter. So if you open your window, maybe just to do something or just to go out of your own door or enter you, definitely maybe when you put it by the door, by the window, probably it's not by your toilet door. And the toilets, that's another abbot of theirs. That's because there are one way or the other, there must be moist inside the toilet. There must be one mosquito or the other there. So any slight opening, they come in. So the best way is you sleep under the mosquito net, whether inside the room or even outside. For those that like now that, like I said, it's hot, some people like sleeping outside if the rain is not there. There's a way they put their mattress, so you can still tie down your mosquito net. Just sleep under it and tuck it properly from under. Then you'll be free from mosquito. You will even be seeing them dancing around, but they cannot come in. Yes.
Well, let's talk about testing before we get to talk about the theme for this year's World Malaria Day. Yeah. Testing. Malaria has become so. Nigerians believe that malaria is a common disease. It feels like we're so used to malaria that it seems like malaria is your friend. People just feel certain symptoms and the next thing, just get anti-malaria and that's it. People don't even test for malaria,
which is really, really very bad. Very bad. Testing is the best. If you have the signs and symptoms of malaria, the best thing is to go take a test. Then they will the doctors or the experts will know that they are of different species. They are of different types. We have the malaria, we have the vivax. It's about 5 or 6, I think, of different. And each of them is sensitive to a particular drug. So by the time you do the test, they will now know which type of malaria you have, which type of species has gone inside somebody, and then which type of the viral infection has gone into you. So they will know the type of drugs, and different people react to those. The most common drug, I think, the chloroquine phosphate. Not everybody. It actually works for almost all the viral type of the malaria species, but not everybody. Some people react to it. I react to chloroquine phosphate, but the other one.
I think chloroquine was banned or something. In the country.
At a time, there was a time it was banned, but sometimes you just have to revisit it. It depends on the person's blood type.
Okay.
So the doctors, that's why it's better you go to the hospital. Self-treatment is not good at all, especially for malaria. It has become so common, like you said, with us, especially in Nigeria. Everybody just feel, it's just a common malaria, let me just go. And then, because we do it often, some of us, or even if you go to the hospital, you test, they give you the drugs, you don't finish the complete treatment. So then gradually, when the symptoms will just disappear. After some time, it will appear and reappear and reappear. And at times, it becomes so acute that it becomes more dangerous. So it's better somebody goes for a test, let the doctors ascertain what type of drugs we should give this person or why you are supposed to be doing this person. I think that's the best.
Now, still speaking of the testing, I understand there's the new, instant tests where you can actually rapid tests where you can also conduct on yourself to find out if you have malaria.
Yes, but then you need to know how to do it. Yeah, I know that there are instructions on the leaflets that you can just go in there over the counter, get the testing kit and do it. But not everybody can read it. So the best thing is to go into the hospital. They will do it for you. We have primary healthcare hospital. We have those, that is the first care hospital. We have those fasting testing kits there. We have it in our tertiary hospitals also. So the best thing is you go in there and do it. But if you are educated and you can read it, then you can go about doing it. But sometimes the best thing is to go, like I said, you just go into the hospital and do it.
When you tell Nigerians to go to the hospital, the first thing that crosses the mind is, it's expensive. I don't have money to pay for, all of these treatments and all.
The rapid test is free. It's like, since you have not visited it, but now it's one of the activities that as part of the theme of this year's World Malaria Day. It's one of the activities we're going to do. The Malaria Elimination Unit, Public Health Department, they are going to give free testing and even free treatment for a lot of FCT residents. As far as we need to cover almost, if we cannot get 100%, at least 95%, because we are going to the communities, even markets. We are going to around almost all the 6 area councils. In fact, it's going to start, I think, today in Kuje, with the National Malaria Elimination Unit going out there to start. Then FCT is going to start there, so we're going to do it at our secretariat before the week runs out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Free treatment,
free testing, and free treatment.
Oh.
Free diagnosis, free treatment.
Interesting.
Yes.
Okay. We'll be talking more on the theme of this year's World Malaria Day, which is harness innovation to reduce the malaria disease burden and save lives. Nigerians need to understand that malaria is not just a common disease. Malaria, I was reading and discovered that Nigeria accounts for about 27% of malaria deaths worldwide, which is over a quarter of, the malaria, 24% of the malaria deaths worldwide. And that's so concerned. That bothers me a lot, because if we continue to lose people to malaria, over time, one day we'll wake up and discover that our population is, everybody's gone, because it's because we've taken this thing for granted too much.
Yeah.
People die of malaria on a daily basis, but we don't see it. We believe that, malaria is a very small disease. Once you take one anti-malaria, it's done. And people don't even understand the kind of anti-malaria they should be taking.
Yeah.
We'll be talking more about this in a minute. Stay with us. The conversation continues here. This is your radio experience. You can count on. We're talking with Hauwa, Suleiman, public health educator.
The 102.3 Extra Show, guys. Listen, literally is exciting in the morning. It's crazy. Like,
come and see, come and see.
I'm so happy to be here and listening to you, Oli J.
The 102.3 Extra Show, guys. Everything is alliteration situation. And if you like to have fun, you do vibes on vibes. E for energy, baby. You need to stay connected and join me on the 102.3 Extra Show. If you do not like vibes, get out.
Has anyone told you you can talk about your business on radio for just 15,000 naira? Get a chance to talk your business for 25 minutes on The Entrepreneur. Mondays to Thursdays, 3 p.m. on Eagles 102.3 FM, Abuja. For more inquiries, call 090-9984-4433. 090-9984-4433. The Entrepreneur. Talk your business for just 15,000 naira. This promo runs from February 1st to April 30th. Hurry now.
Eagles Morning Rise. Eagles Morning Rise with
Prince. 9:32 is the time. We're still discussing the World Malaria Day 2022, and the theme is harness innovation to reduce the malaria disease burden and save lives. Our guest today is Hauwa Suleiman, who's a public health educator, helping us understand what we need to know about malaria. You can join the conversation if you have questions or concerns to express on the show. Call 090-7353-0044 and 090-8766-8888. You can send WhatsApp and SMS to you can send messages to WhatsApp and SMS on 090-9705-4450. I think that one message that we need to drive home is the fact that malaria is a killer. Killing several people, many Nigerians. A lot of people who just, they say, oh, he woke up, he slept and didn't wake up, or this or that, or, oh, she was just sick for a few days. These are people who may have gone on the, that malaria attacks and, lost their lives. But people just kind of take it for granted. We just say, oh, it's just malaria. Just get them, PCM or get them anti-malaria and it's good. That's not a way to go about it. Now, talking about the theme for this year's World Malaria Day, harness innovation, means that we need to find new ways to tackle the scourge of malaria. We need to, especially using technology and all to tackle malaria. I recall that people have been talking about the vaccine, that has been on trial since 2021. But besides that, there's hardly any other breakthrough in the malaria treatment and prevention that has been accepted globally. What can we do as a nation to, find new ways to tackle malaria? Because I know that even in fighting malaria in Nigeria, aside from international donors, we don't have a homegrown campaign or that is spearheaded or driven by the Nigerian government. most of the time we rely on, foreign donors to drive the fight against malaria. What are your thoughts on that?
I disagree with that.
Okay.
I know that we are trying, the Nigerian government is also trying its best. Like we have what we call the maternal and child health care week every, I think, 2-3 times in a year.
Okay.
And we channel most resources towards preventing malaria with at least pregnant women and under fives, because there are some of our mostly casualties of malaria. The under fives children, they are maybe because their immunity is lower, and then the pregnant women also whose immunity has been compromised because she's not the only person. So I think the government is doing that. And then apart from that, the government, they are trying their best. Yes, we have international donors also. But as part of I think the health budget is also for malaria. And just like the theme says, we have to harness all resources. So, and that is what the government is doing, and especially this year, like I said, prevention is the key. So that's what malaria elimination is trying to do. That is the malaria elimination, whether both nationally and the states. That's what they are trying to do. Testing, just like we say, is one of the preventive measures. That's the best thing. Once you start having the signs and symptoms, go for a test. Don't just do, again, let me emphasize, no self-treatment. I think it's one of the things that is killing us. Just like you said, probably somebody feels it's just ordinary malaria, let me just take this, or use the traditional method. People are using what the Ibos, mixing this, that, and probably in the process you can even damage the liver or damage the kidney, something like that. Those are some of the comorbidities that we get when somebody has malaria. So yes, international donors, we thank them, we have other partners. So we are trying to harness all resources from them. And what the country is trying to do, or what, let's say, let me come back to my own state at least, is to get these treatments to the lowest, that is the low-income households, and to all the communities, and then to make sure that everybody accesses it. As part of what we are trying to do now, to see we give the free testing, and then free diagnosis, and then free treatment for all.
Now, the primary health care center is the closest to, the people, so they say, the communities.
Yes.
Now, what are we doing to ensure that at the primary health care level, there's testing and treatment available to everyone who goes in there? Not just because I know that a lot of times we say, the PHC will take care of, pregnant women and children, and then the men are left out. It seems like nobody cares for the men.
This time around it's for everybody, not only the men.
Okay.
That's why it's equity for all.
Okay.
So it's everybody now. But we give priority to pregnant women and children. Like I said, their immunity has been compromised. It's already compromised. For the children, it's low. For the pregnant woman, she's not the only person. She has because of hormonal changes, she has this sickness or the other. So malaria is easily gets to handle the larger space of her body. When the mosquito comes, it bites. So commodities are in place. That's what Health and Human Services Secretariat is trying to do now, is doing with the commodities that it has acquired using the government fund, and with commodities that has been given to them by the partners or the global fund, then to be provided in all the hospitals. Primary health care.
Can you guarantee us that the primary healthcare centers would get these,
I'm guaranteeing you
that when people walk in there, they won't say, we're out of stock, and that this stock would not end up in private hands? Because there were situations where, government and donor partners give medication, and this medication that is supposed to go out for free end up in pharmacies and stores, on the shelves of those stores.
When you see such a thing happens,
for sale.
I'm not denying that. When you see such a thing happens, not directly from the government to the private for sales, to the people.
What do you call it? Treated nets. And the elections are around the corner.
Yeah,
and instead of giving these people these things for free, you have them label them with a political party, whatever logos, and they only give to people who are members of the political parties or supporters.
It's a different scenario entirely. Yes, they could assess it themselves from a company. buy it, but not from government.
There was a situation where these things from government warehouses were given to supporters of a particular political party, and people were saying, "Oh, if you don't belong to their party, you won't get the net."
I didn't see that, or I didn't. I didn't witness that. Yeah, okay. I didn't experience that. But yes, they are politicians. It's possible, like I said, they could have assessed it. Not that government gave them to share. I mean, the one that is given to health to be shared, and then the health services will not give it to the, because they are under that particular government that time, to say, okay, take and share for your party members. No. I think they could have assessed it and used their logo on it for parties. They do it, but even food, they do it. Not only such medical commodities. But I don't think government, because at least I'm part of the sharing, and in public health, the Malaria Elimination Unit, once we acquire it, when the government buys it for us, or when the World Bank, any of the donors bring it are pregnant, everybody will have.
Okay.
So if the woman has, the man has also, because they will sleep together under the bed.
Quite interesting.
Yeah, the whole family, probably the man, the husband, and your daughter or child, I mean, or a son, will sleep under the net. So that's but our target is for pregnant women and children under 5.
All right.
Yes.
Well, so we'll get to talk about treatments in a bit. Join the conversation now if you have
on that. The best thing is go for a test. Let the doctor write it for you. The doctor knows which one to give, the ACT to give, which type. Yes, like he said, there are different types. Like he said, we have different different blood groups, and the experts told us that this viral malaria viral species go to the government hospitals, and the government doctor will write it, and you go to our pharmacy, you might not get it, because they will just get the right one. They don't just buy it randomly. They get the right one, the one that is tested, and it's NAFDAC certified. Those are the ones they get. The same thing with even the private hospitals.
You know, I'm concerned about this because I was reading this morning in one of the newspapers, and it said that over 90% of the pharmacies in private hospitals are not registered. And that to me is a source of